Alright, so let's go ahead and hit Shift F to get rid of our wireframe. Another thing I want to do is I want to get rid of this wax material, and I want to go with more of a matte cap white. So let's go ahead and click on this, and that gives us this, which is pretty nice. Now I want to go ahead and add a shoulder socket and then an arm. Now in 2018 the movement tools are a lot easier. So considering that I'm recording this as a lecture for my class, I'll probably go over the 2018 tools either later in this video or I'll definitely go over them in class because I'm using a bit of an older version here. But for now, this part is essentially the same. I'm going to expand subtool. And the way to think about subtools is they're almost like layers in Photoshop. And what I want to do is append a sphere onto my subtool. So I'm going to go ahead and click append here. And I'm going to grab another sphere 3D. And right off the bat, you can see I have it right here, but it's bigger than my character's torso here. So I'm going to click on this subtool or this layer, and then I'm going to click on scale and grab this handle and move it out, and then just bring it down like this. Let's go ahead and turn this back on so we can see this. And then I'm going to go to my move tool, and by holding the alt key down, I can just move it into place like this. You can see, and I'll move this here. And this is going to represent my shoulder socket, so something like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit Q to go back into draw mode. Now the thing is, I want this to be symmetrical. I want another sphere on the other side. So I'm going to go up here to Z plugin, and I'm going to go over here to Subtool Master, and I'm just going to mirror that. And I'm going to hit OK, and you'll see that now I have two spheres. Now the thing is, they're on two separate subtools. What I want to do is, I want to weld these two together so I can sculpt across. So for right now, you can see if I click on this, and I hit Control D a couple times, I'm only able to move the topology on this one face here, whereas I have to go in here, and if I make sure I hit X again, if I want to create the armpit, for example, I have to go in and tweak that. But what I want to do is I want to show an extension from the body here. So what I'm going to do is select my torso here, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to go to Merge, and I'm going to click on Merge Down, and it's always okay. You can see now it made it one object. But the thing is, I'm still not able to sculpt on them together. I want this to be one object. So if I hit Shift F, you can see I have two separate objects with two different poly values. So what I'm going to do is shrink subtool, expand geometry, and that's where Dynamesh comes in. Dynamesh allows me to take two objects and merge them into one, or weld them into one. 128 is a bit high. I'm going to go to 64. Now, 64 is the resolution, which is roughly 64 of these individual elements per inch. So watch this. If I hit Dynamesh, you can see now it's Dynameshed them together. It welded those two pieces together. I'm going to hit Shift F, you can see here. And now if I hit Control D, I can add more geometry. And if I go in here and hit B for brush, and I hit C, and I grab my clay buildup, I'm going to hit B, I can go in here now and just start doing things like sculpting out, like kind of like what a shoulder would look like, right? I can smooth this out. This is kind of where the chest can be. But we're going to get into anatomy later, like much later. So for now, I'm okay with it looking a little disjointed. Maybe I'll go in here and just add a little bit of build-up, hit Shift to smooth. Now another neat thing is with your clay build-up brush selected, if I hold the Alt key in, I can carve in. So what I'm going to do is just carve in an armpit down here. Then I'm going to hold Shift and smooth it out. Something like that. Just so now we have an armpit in there. So what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm going to go ahead and create the upper arm and the forearm so I can plug it into this shoulder socket.